White cheddar and cheddar.
So we were watching the big all these candies to add.
Yeah, it's good for his blood sugar.
That was really happy.
You can see through it. It definitely does not.
Don't leave me hanging.
Thank you. Thank you. Also our website.
I slid all my candies to Adam, so if you want an extra one.
Looks like it might have melted.
I know, mine did too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Slide them over to either Adam or Todd, one of the two.
It's a big pile by Adam.
It's
I
not
like
here.
the crackle ones because they taste like the Crunch Bar.
My friend is selling chocolates to do fundraising, and I'm like, oh my God, just stop. Let's get those away. Oh, myself a couple of
So I just bought $78 worth of Girl Scout cookies.
Why? I have to get a hold of my Girl Scout
3 for my
supplier.
one boy, 2 for my other boy, some for me and Goob, and my mom and dad.
When I was a kid, 24. It's
And continuing?
I think for probably 3 more years or so.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Hey, Adam,
Perfect
I gave you a
timing.
whole crap load of extra candies.
Thanks. We're gonna die. Hey, you're late.
Oh, you got it. Oh, good.
Yeah.
I just think I'm ready to enjoy seeing
That'd
that.
be fun.
My sister works for the food pantry. They are ecstatic.
They are really.
They're just like, oh my God.
That's so cool. And the kids have so much fun. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Whatever.
Okay.
All right, folks, it's 6:30. Let's get this meeting started. Call the meeting to order. Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
You got George?
Yep.
Coop?
Yeah.
Lakey? Yes. Levitt? Nelson?
Yes.
Funk? Schaefer? Todd? And me.
Mission statement.
Mission statement of the Gale-Ettrick-Trempealeau School District is learning for all, learning for life.
And item 6 is our consent agenda. We have the approval of our regular school board meeting, our special meeting, the financial reports, which we heard on Thursday, and the personnel approvals. I take a motion for the
Aye.
Sarah, second.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comments. Looks like we have none. Correspondence.
All right, so the only thing I have this time, and I think all of you on the board get this in the mail, the school news, I was just gonna highlight, you might have looked at it and said, oh, this was the convention, I went, but there's some really good stuff in here that I would suggest that you check out. For example, all of the resolutions, and you think about all the delegates that are there that are representing every single school district in the state, and they have delegates voting on all of these different policies and things that they think are important that are happening in public education. Anyway, it talks about those resolutions and what was decided on at that conference. I thought that was pretty good. And then about halfway through, all of the legal cases that are right now in the court system that affect education, will affect our future and things going forward, those are highlighted in here as well. So just some things to maybe draw your attention to. If you got a couple extra minutes. That'll be, I'm gonna get that ready while you
Okay.
say yours. How's that sound?
All right, on to staff and student recognition. I have a list here, so if I miss somebody, I apologize, and I'm gonna kind of go through it quick because I have a pretty big list. I want to recognize the wrestling team, gymnastics, and the boys basketball on their fall season. All their great accomplishments so far. We're now into the start of spring activities. I know track started today. The Coulee Honor Choir participated in Whitehall. We had some students there participating. Whoop. I'd like to recognize the Dorian Honor Band.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Okay, I'll just close that.
Okay.
Sorry. Really exciting, just wait.
Yeah, we had 10 students attend the Dorian Honor Band at Luther College. The juniors took ACT prep. The middle school did, and I don't know, Pete, if I'm going to say this right, the Shark Tank, I believe it was, activity. Yep. We do have and then we also finally a band and choir contest tomorrow night, the high school band and choir. So if anybody's interested, and if anybody else has anything that they want to recognize.
You know, I taught with Aaron when he was first year, fifth grade, and always come back, but what a great guy. You know, he did a joint pad for us, signed up for now, state tournament for us. Kids are excited, he's got a ton of energy. He comes down to middle school, helps with the youth band members down there. Like, he's just been phenomenal.
And I heard at state, GET was well represented. I heard they had more than plus the bands, and so that was pretty cool.
Our band definitely all day long. Very impressive.
Excellent.
I was going to recognize the forensics season has started too, and all of our forensics team members who competed at the sub-district level made it on to the district level, and they will be competing at the district level in the end of March 21st. So, and then after district, if they make it on the district level, on the state and Yep. And they have a huge team. GET has the biggest forensics team in the region. So.
Cindy?
In mid,
January, I happened to see on Facebook this nationwide cereal box domino competition. And so I passed that on to the elementary admin, and they ran with it. And did they ever? And they put together the coolest video on it. I asked Michelle if she wouldn't play it in case you guys haven't seen it. But the kids raised 390 boxes of cereal for the food pantry.
And then all those GT food pantry.
yeah. So yeah, if you want to play it then.
And
Cereal boxes will go to our local food pantry to help our local families in need that could use a little help. That's what we do around here, right? We help each other. So, and we have fun along the way.
This was a cool
picture that you guys did. That was so cute.
Like, oh, we're cool. Isn't that a cool video?
Oh, you guys,
A little bit
who
of
put
kindness
that
goes
together?
Pantry to help our local families in need and get a little help.
The creative side of how we connect our 3 elementary buildings.
So cool.
Awesome. Good job, guys.
Yeah, a little bit of kindness goes a long way, so
What I saw.
way to go.
Facebook page, I'm like, oh, we did it!
Okay, we'll move on to administrative reports. Our March 2026 administrative reports. Okay, any questions on that? Hang on 1 second here. No questions on that. So now on to unfinished business. So we met at the committee of the whole to discuss the final number on the capital improvement. And do you want to just quick explain what tonight is about?
So tonight is just to help us to start moving forward. The official resolutions will take place in April at the board meeting. But this vote is really to say, start moving so we can start working on marketing plans and getting that whole grassroots effort going to get a yes vote on these projects. So yeah, so we're asking for support.
Any questions on tonight's? Can you just refresh the what the yearly 350,000 just real quick breakdown on it? Okay, because I know that. Yeah. Sorry, don't mean to put you on the spot.
All right, so with a $44,755,000 referendum, the mill rate tax impact would be 96 cents. That equates to a property that's valued at $350,000. The annual property tax increase would be $336.
Thank you. Okay, so I guess at this time, I'd entertain a motion if we feel it's appropriate.
Is it, please, Chair, I think on something this important that we do it on voice, do it on a
Roll
voice
call
vote.
vote.
Roll call vote.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yep.
I make a motion that we approve going to referendum.
You wanna
Do I
read the
need
whole-
to
Yeah.
for the
Yep, read the whole.
for the where is it? Do we approve going to referendum vote on August 11th? Sorry, now I lost my thing. For the amount of $44,755,000 for the capital, for the purpose of capital improvement projects in the high school and 3 elementary buildings.
So we have a motion, and I take a second.
Second.
Second by Cindy. Any discussion? All right, no discussion. We'll go to roll call vote. Sarah?
George,
Yes.
Coop,
No.
Lakey,
Yes.
Lesbit, Nelson,
Yes.
Funk.
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Rossler,
Yes.
Sarah, no.
Motion carries 7-2. And so then, next month, we'll have the referendum question 2.
Have the questions exactly prepared by the attorney.
All right, exciting times, good, bad, or in between. New business, Wisconsin Academic Excellence Scholarship.
Right, so every year at this time, we have these 2 scholarships, or 2 separate motions you'll see there, that are earned by our high school students that will be graduating. Wisconsin Academic Excellence Scholarship is usually your very top student that will be planning to attend a Wisconsin State College. The Technical Excellence, again, going to a technical school that meets those requirements. So, 2 separate motions, and you can see the names when you do the motion. You can read those off.
So is the excellence set what we consider valedictorian?
It's oftentimes the valedictorian, but sometimes it can change based on whether that person is, let's just say they are going to go to an academy in the military and not go to
Sure.
college, then it would move through the, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. So we need 2 separate motions.
Can we do it together and read and say both
Put them together?
or no?
Well, let's just do them separately, and then,
Okay.
yeah, then there's no questions
Well,
asked.
then I move that
That we approve the Wisconsin Academic Excellence Scholarship awarded to Auburn Rotary.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, congratulations, Auburn. And then we have our Wisconsin Technical Excellence Scholarship.
I move that
We
we
approve the Wisconsin Technical Excellence Scholarship awarded to Caitlin Caldwell.
Second by Adam. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations, Caitlin. C, early college credit and start college now application.
All right, so this time of year when we get this, it is for next fall. The students that are wanting to take courses to get college credit, either at, you can see when you look at that list, many are from Western Technical School, but then there's some for UW, La Crosse there that you can see in Winona State. Out of that whole list, there's actually 15 students. Many times they have more than one course. They are always planning on taking 3 or 4, but they put all of the ones that they would or could take because they might not get their first choice or their second choice. So they put a few in there knowing that they might just take 2 or 1, but they want to make sure they get a course. All of these students are doing a great job. You can see one of the top classes that is on that list is the nursing assistant course at Western Tech. So a lot of our students will do that. They'll get their NA. While they're in high school, they are able to work, gain experience, and then move into the medical field that much quicker. So very exciting. So we do need a motion to approve those.
I would take a motion then for the early college credits.
So move.
Motion by Coop, second by Sarah Olson. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations on that. Now on to item D, recommendation to hire additional middle school 6th grade math teacher / interventionist.
Okay, and this recommendation, I kind of talked about this at the committee of the whole, but I actually did some number crunching, and right now the middle school has 303 students approximately, and you've got a class of 99, a class of 99, and a class of 105. Next year the 105 goes out, and a class of 120 comes in, 120. When you have that big of a bump, you have to have more staff just to cover classes. We're asking for 1 new 6th grade teacher with the title math and math interventionist. Pete has rearranged his entire schedule with help and input from staff and others to make that work. I will be coming back next year and the year after because let's see, right now we'll be at 303. The year after, next year we'll be at 318. The year after we'll be at 321, and the year after we'll be at 342
Oh my
at the
gosh.
middle school. So we're going to have to increase staff there. So growth, yes.
Wow.
Some new classes coming through, and anyway, but right now I'm asking for one at the middle school. So
Does that person end up then helping with all 3 grades, or?
Yeah, the purpose is that they'll teach a 6th grade core class for sure, to help out with numbers. And we currently don't have a math interventionist to work with students during some of that remedial math time, so they'll do some of that across all 3 grades, wherever the big need is.
Okay, cool.
Michelle, remind me, we've got 2.5 teachers for 5th grade this year, is that correct?
2.5 for the class at Trempealeau where we have 27 and 27 in the 2 main classes, and then there's a teacher that's half-time that's coming and supporting core with those 2 teachers.
So essentially that is 1 teacher. So will that position then go away?
Yes.
So essentially we're replacing 2 half-time teachers with a full-time teacher.
A half-time teacher.
A half-time.
Yeah. So we have
Okay, I
2
misunderstood
full-time
what
and
you
a
said.
half, covering those 2 classes of 27. So there's 2 full-times and a half teacher for those 2 classes of 27. The half-time will go away. And yeah, so we'll lose that position, but have to hire a full-time.
Okay, so essentially we're hiring another half with benefits.
Right, but I am reducing 2 benefit positions for next year. Again, as I told you guys, we're not having those 2 full-time substitute teachers. So that's helping to balance the budget.
That's what I was hoping you were going to say.
Yeah. Especially the whole benefits piece. Our part-time doesn't have benefits, but those
Right.
full-time ones do, and that's where some serious cost savings had to come into play.
And the other 2 core classes are language and science, and as far as
How are
STEM.
those getting
Yeah,
covered?
yeah,
He's
yeah.
here to answer
Yeah,
that.
so we also currently have interventionists who's more in the world of ELA. So the ELA interventionist is co-taught in the 6th grade classroom, so she's also going to teach a core 6th grade classroom by herself. And she'll do reading interventions. And then science and social studies at both the reader and higher class members, we recognize that. Our focus is improving reading and math scores first, from high school as well. We're putting more effort and energy into that. But the science classrooms will be about 29, 30 in each classroom as they group moves up.
Can you fit 29 kids in a science classroom?
Yeah, we've looked at it. It's going to be tight. I mean, we currently run classes at 27, 28. It's not unreal right now. So we've had that. It's tight. There. We are going to have to buy a little more furniture. Mr. Broderick and I have been looking, but we'll have to buy a little more furniture to add to some of the rooms.
Like for labs and safety, will it affect any of that kind of things?
No, and if we've been in the middle school science labs, they're pretty big rooms to start with. They are pretty spacious when they build them, and they're nicer, longer rooms, so I think there's enough room to make it.
Any more questions?
Are we predicting any larger classes in the elementary school?
So I brought those numbers too, because I had a feeling, that was kind of my
feeling we'd ask?
So interestingly, right now, so, again, 5th grade's at 120, 4th grade's 102, 3rd grade's at 120, 2nd grade's at 103. The smallest grade at the elementary is 1st grade at 90 right now, which is interesting. And that was a shock to us. We were thinking everything was going to go to 3 sections at Trempealeau, and then we had that one. But 4K, if we take in a Head Start, is at 107. So now, just for contrast, we got all these classes except for that 90. They're all over 100, over 105. At the high school right now, 9th grade, 86. 10th grade, that's our smallest class in the whole school district. 10th grade, 98. 11th grade, 103. 12th grade, 94. So we were used to these 90s, 95, maybe a class here and there, a little over 100. What's coming now are mainly over 100 and then some. So growth, which is why we are doing our capital improvement project and making sure that we can have 3 sections all the way through in Trempealeau, and that there's room in Galesville for some bubble classes where we maybe need a 3rd section here or there. And that's why we gotta make these changes so that we're ready.
Plus with all those new housing projects in Galesville and Trempealeau is gonna, yeah,
yes, if we could get that
Gotta be
sixth grade
prepared for
teacher,
'em.
that would be really helpful for next year.
All right, any other questions? If not, I guess we could entertain a motion to recommend hiring an additional middle school sixth grade math teacher interventionist.
So move.
Second, by Plum. First by Mark. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, got a new middle school teacher. Item E. So this is put on last minute. Request for reimbursement of board members' conference expenses. Board member attended change maker workshop public event by the Wisconsin School Leaders for Excellence on January 22nd at the Doubletree by Hilton in Milwaukee. Board member would like to also attend Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty 2026 Sports Summit April 24th in Wauwatosa. And I think this was put on because there's some questions on the reimbursement, I believe, and
I'll just read the policy.
okay, yeah.
First, and that's attached there so you can all see that. It's in the compensation part and it's in the bylaws, so this applies specifically to board members. Under item B, it says, when attending a board-approved conference, all fees, parking, mileage, meals, and housing will be reimbursed. It doesn't get into any specifics about what can or can't be approved as far as conferences go. It just talks to the process. Again, board-approved and then reimbursed.
I think the question came about is, correct me if I'm wrong, is that there's questions about it wasn't a board-approved conference.
So,
It's not about the conference, about whether it was approved or not brought to the board.
So right now, when you go to WASB conferences, because we are part of that association, it's assumed that those are board-approved because we pay dues to be a part of that group. But again, it's not that we can't approve other types of conferences, we just at this point haven't had the opportunity.
One of the things that you would have to bring into the board that you would like to go to, like when I, for work, go to a conference, I have to take it to my boss and I say, this is a conference that I would like to go to. And then they say, yes, you can go, or no, you can't go. And then they say, yes, you can go and we'll pay for it, or yeah, you can go, but it's all on your own. So I think it's the same thing for us. We would have to see it and say, yep, we'll pay for it, or no, or yeah, you can go, but we won't pay for it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I would think so. I think that there also isn't any type of a per diem for each of those individual items that are within our policy. Any other board that I serve on when we're traveling, we use, the federal approved per diem for mileage, which I would think would be relevant. But, when it comes to meals, when it comes to hotel expense, when it comes to those kinds of things, I don't also want to get us in a situation where we have someone taking advantage, and not that anyone on this board would, but there may come a time where someone decides to take advantage and, get a $350 a night hotel or a $100 a night steak dinner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's something that we need to take a little further.
Maybe some guardrails.
Right, just a little bit of
Mhm.
guidelines as far as.
So what's the budget for those that attend the WASB meetings? What's the hotel and mileage budget there? Because if you're gonna approve one side and not the other, so what's the budget for the WASB? So like, do you have 300, or do you go to Kalahari and max out like DPI did?
So we do have meal reimbursements that are set already. The board is already approved, so those are in place. The mileage is already set. That's that
For the IRS, yeah, I saw
we
that.
already have that. Hotels, what we generally do is, we'll look at the list of where they maybe have rooms banked, so you're getting that lower cost, and we always try to get that lower cost room. That's, we don't necessarily go with the cheapest one that's miles away, because you want to try to balance convenience for your people as well as cost.
So you would book all of those items, the hotel for the school?
Yeah, in
For
fact,
any
we'd
board member
rather
to-
book them ourselves, because then we can use our credit card
Yep.
and then you don't pay tax.
Yep.
So it's actually better if we book the hotel,
Mm-hmm.
and then, again, to look to see if we can get some of those rooms that have a lower cost.
Can you guys ask for state rates? We do.
Most of the conferences are on like walked rooms, so, and it's
No,
already.
but they're usually more than state rate.
You're right, they are.
Because I will check always the hotel blocked ones, but I can always get one cheaper for state rate.
So if you're all getting excited about hotel costs, I already looked at it. The one for April that is held at something Renaissance, something or another. I have it in my messages. For a hotel there is $260 some odd. I already booked one that is a mile away from the same hotel. That's $135.
I'm not quite sure if it's the cost. I think it's the process.
It's the process, and
Process.
yeah.
It
Like-
has nothing to do with an individual board member, it has
No,
nothing, it
no,
has to do
'cause,
with process
we're
and setting,
putting-
establishing.
the thing is,
Well, I'm
guidelines.
just saying that if you can improve the WASB ones, and that you should be able to approve
Not necessarily. What is the
State-
conference of,
Wisconsin
Pause.
state statute.
please let
Just let her
me
talk.
finish. What is the conference about? Where is the itinerary? What will you be going to? When we go to the WASB one, we know what we're approving, we know who is sponsoring it, we know all of those things. Again, same thing when I go to my work, before I go to a conference, I have to say, here's where it's going, I have to fill out a thing, of what benefit I'm getting, what I'm gonna bring back. That's what we're asking.
And
Who is putting this on, and
It's
what
not
we're
about,
getting.
it's not about the conference, it's about the procedure, especially if you're dealing with people with tax dollars. I mean, we have to keep the public's trust, and if I per se would go to, take my family to Florida, for example, and turn in receipts saying I went to a conference without having it board approved, I mean, it's a perception that the public sees, and we want to be upfront with them, and the policy does say board approved to go. I mean, that's not, I mean, if we want to change the policy, we can change the policy, but we just can't go on a whim because it's the taxpayers' dollars that we're dealing with.
And board approved could be as simple as whoever wants to go to the conference brings it to
Yep.
the board president,
Send an email, yeah.
and the board
Which
president
I did,
says,
I approached you at the February
Okay.
Trempealeau.
the board president says, okay, puts a signature on it and it's done.
Yeah.
And then we don't have all of this.
but it says as simple as that. I don't know that is as simple as that one person has the power to decide that everybody is paying for any conference that anybody decides to go to. It says board approved.
Board approved.
It doesn't say
on the-
board president approved.
It's up for interpretation, board approved, I mean, your president can approve things for the board on behalf of the board, your president signs things. It doesn't mean that that's how you have to interpret this, but it could be as simple as that, just as Adam said, it could be. Many of our principals, they're one person, they look at all the conferences that the people who are below, that are teaching or staff members in their building, and they approve those. It doesn't go through, doesn't come to you. It's done at that level.
So what's the time frame you get approved?
Question.
If you read this, it would say it just has to be before
Right.
the conference.
So if Sarah sent an email to Todd asking, I would think that would be fairly simple.
Yeah, so yeah, if you send an email, yeah, it'd be that easy.
So that's what we're gonna do then?
Well, I think, I know we don't like to be policy driven and policy, but I think this policy needs to be reviewed. And I think, because confusion and just, so there's no questions and I think like Deb was saying, or maybe I put words in your mouth, but there needs to be some guardrails on it too, because we can't, I mean, do we approve $10,000 for the conferences in a year? I mean, because technically, the way it's written, we could.
Sure. I would, again, knowing this board, I don't think you're gonna do something.
No.
we're gonna be doing that. I mean, again, my comments were in general, you know, up until Sarah said it was her that had requested it. I had no idea when this room had requested it. So it isn't driven at any individual.
Right.
It's driven at just strictly policy.
Mhm.
You know, every board I've been on has a policy for travel. It's a request is made. There's stipulations and guidelines as far as expenditures, and you just follow those guidelines. And so it's not anything beyond being procedural and being responsible for our dollars.
And that's, I mean, as our, the board, I mean, that's what we are policy and procedure. And that's, I mean, our decisions are supposed to be made on policy.
When is the event that you want to attend?
April 24th, and it's right in this.
Right, I'm just trying to get back to that.
No, I know.
But where is it in here? I don't.
It's under E where it says, hold on, I gotta find
Request
it
for
now too.
reimbursement?
Request for reimbursement under,
Change maker
oh,
workshop.
why don't I have one of these?
Yeah. No, because I printed
Oh,
it.
12E.
He doesn't do this.
12E.
Because yours is on your computer.
Because that thing is,
Mark needs.
It's under, it's under 12E. It says
I completely
request.
given up on that thing, so it's useless to me. So I have to find something that works.
And this is sort of brand new to me too, it just came up. Sarah, what's
The other one, the board member also like to attend the Wisconsin Institute. Yeah, that one, that part of 12E. What am I looking at?
The Institute for
Yeah.
Law and Liberty?
Yeah.
Okay.
The board member would also like to attend the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty 2026 School Board Summit on April 24th in Wauwatosa.
who's sponsoring that, Sarah?
Well,
Will, Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty.
So
pretty
what's,
prestigious state organization.
It's what?
It's a pretty prestigious state organization. It's a privately run organization, but it has statewide legal implications.
so what's in the agenda of these that you really want to
It hasn't
get out of
been,
it?
it hasn't been shown yet as to what the agenda is gonna be.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
They apparently, this is the first one that I'm attending, so nothing's been posted yet as to what the full itinerary or agenda of like who's speaking, when speaking, what their topics they're talking about. If you wanna go and look it up and see what the event is, it's on Will's website for April 24th.
I don't ever see the agenda for WASB's when somebody goes, not that I care, but I never see that agenda. So I have no idea what's going on. I just take it under the goodwill that whoever's going is gonna use their time well. So, I mean, if you're gonna wanna get that tit for tat, it's getting a little ridiculous. I think if Sarah wants to go and do this, I think we could garner enough goodwill to let her go.
I think if Sarah wants to go and do this, she can go and do this, but I don't know that we can ask our taxpayers to pay for her to go to a conference that is sponsored by a group that wants to end DEI initiatives.
Well,
in the
then
state
I'm
of
not paying
Wisconsin.
for taxpayers, but attend the WASB conferences then. I guess it's, horse apiece.
Well,
Actually,
you're
that's
asking,
not,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, that it's not a horse apiece, but
It is, but
But you're asking us to pay for you to go to something and you don't even know what it's about.
it's
You just
sponsored,
said-
it's sponsored by a private group.
it's on the website that you can go and look to see what they've posted so far. You
Okay,
have-
what, you said there wasn't an agenda out.
As when I
Yeah.
looked at late last week, so as of this week, I haven't looked yet. Today is only Monday.
Okay, just don't need to get fatty about it, just asking a question.
That's more of a concern to me is what the group is
They are,
about.
they are a group that is, from, and I don't know because I have not done a lot of investigation, but my understanding is that they are a group that is looking to end diversity, equity, and initiatives in the state. That is part of.
That's not, that's,
Well, that's on their website.
and you're
If I'm
welcome
looking on- If I'm looking
looking on their
Yes.
website.
And you're also welcome to that opinion. It also has a lot of very good information that you can go through and that they also publish.
They say right on their website, Will provides a roadmap to dismantle what remains of the Biden equity agenda and implement a new once-in-a-generation policy of equality and fairness for Americans. They want to roll back the DEI policies. It is on the front page of their website.
And there's only room for your opinion.
She's reading that off.
Yes, I get
Get it
that.
off their website.
I get
That's not an
that.
opinion.
But
She's not making it up.
my point is that she's against Will, therefore anybody who wants to go see this
No,
can't
So I'm
go.
not saying that
She
I'm
never
saying
said
that, what I'm saying is that as a board, we don't have to pay for someone to go see it. Just like if I wanted to go and go to Teaching Tolerance's conference, I wouldn't ask the board to go pay for that, for me to go
As far
to
as
that
I'm
conference.
concerned, if you did, you should go.
Right, if I
But-
want to go, I can, but I shouldn't ask the board to
Or
pay
the
for me to go
taxpayers.
to that conference. That would be something that I should go on my own. I could go, but it's not something that the board should pay for me to go see that. Because it is very obviously slanted in a certain direction.
Well, I just don't know enough about it. Hold on, I hate to sit on the fence, I never sit on the fence in this board, you know. But I'm sitting on the fence a little bit right now because I know nothing about that organization.
Well, I think there's two questions here. The first one is taking out the conference. Do we approve reimbursement of a conference that wasn't board approved? For the January one. I think that's question number one. Do we approve?
I didn't submit and I didn't request for that one. Just because I didn't request for that one.
So
I mean, I have the receipt if you're inclined to make a copy of it, but I didn't request that because it was after the fact.
okay, so that's
So,
okay.
and I guess, Kara read, what they're all about. And we need to ask ourselves, is that really what we want to be about here at GET? And, you can't tell me that there's not going to be that tone in their conference.
You don't know that because we haven't seen the agenda. I think it would be nice to see an agenda. I mean, outside of WASB, we know what WASB is. And it would be nice to see an agenda before something's approved, but.
We know when. There's no agenda on there. When's our next meeting? April 7th?
6th, no, 13th.
7th, no, the 13th, so that'd give us a week. Well,
Well, I think you're gonna go regardless, right?
I did book a hotel room, but it's one of those ones where you can cancel up to a certain date or whatever because of immediate family issues too. I'm always hesitant with too.
How many meetings do they have a year?
I have no idea. This is the first one I'll be attending for Will.
If they're more back to back.
Pardon?
They're back to back, one was January and that next one's April.
The one in January was totally different.
Yeah, that wasn't Will. That was
That
something
wasn't
else.
Will.
Oh, what was that?
That one was at WS.
Wisconsin School Leaders
Yeah,
for Excellence.
yeah, WSLE.
What's that?
It wasn't Will hosted, it was just from SPAE, School Boards of Academic Excellence and Wisconsin Leaders of Excellence. It was another version of school board conferences that are operated in 43 of the 50 states, and what kind of platform and what kind of policies, which is similar to Neola and speakers of the different chapters that they had come in. It was only like 6 p.m. to like 8 p.m. It was short, and at the whatever hotel that was, the Hilton, Milwaukee. By Doubletree, not the Garden one, not the one where Wasby was at. That was across the street.
All right, well, we can either A, table this till April. We want to wait to see what the agenda is. Otherwise, we can make an motion to approve or deny. No, I gotta restate that right. Not the reimbursement. Approve or deny board members' conference expenses and attendance to the 2026 School Board Summit on April 24th.
Again, I'm just concerned what they're gonna have on their agenda from what Kara read as to their purpose or their mission.
I move to table this decision until our April board meeting.
We have a motion to table this till April board meeting, and by that time, second by Cindy. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, it looks like we'll do a roll call vote.
Can you back up for a second? Did you say it was Amy and Cindy that?
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. Where's Kendra? Oh, are you doing these? Or am I doing these? Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, George. Oh, wait a minute. What are we
So the
doing?
motion is to table this until April meeting, and hopefully by that time we have an agenda to see what is at the conference that the school district would be paying for. Okay. Roll call.
George.
Yes.
Hoop.
No.
Leaky.
Yes.
Levitt. Nelson.
Yes.
Punk.
No.
Sarah. No. Schaefer.
Yes.
Wrestler.
Yes. 5-4 motion carries to table till November. April. Okay, on to item F. So parent complaint regarding an instructional resource. I'll just read this. The complaint is about the book Monster by Walter Dean Myers. The book is currently included in the 8th grade ELA curriculum. Administration had applied policy 9130, public request suggestions or complaints, in handling the complaint process. The parent complaint has been considered by the middle school building principal, the curriculum director, and the district administrator. After the three reviewed the book reviews, age level recommendations, and the curriculum guide, the middle school building principal, curriculum director, and district administrator decided to continue to use the book in the 8th grade ELA curriculum. I know most of you took a copy of the book and read it, so I appreciate that. Make sure you return your books. So now the complaint has come to the GET school board after consideration from the administration. And so tonight we'll make a motion to approve or deny the request of the removal of the novel Monster from the 8th grade ELL curriculum. Any thoughts? Discussion? Do we want to make the motion?
I have a question.
Okay.
And I don't know who to direct it to though. So, what is the benefit of the children reading this book?
Well, it addresses quite a few of the ELA standards, and I won't try to point those all out. I gave you guys the curriculum to review, and it addressed and it listed all of the ELA standards that were being considered by this particular novel. And again, in reading it, Sarah, you read the book.
Mm-hmm.
It does, the way it's written is engaging. The format is used, kind of has that graphic novel feel. It's hot topics that, topics that might engage a child of that age, of interest. So getting kids to read is really important.
I understand that, yeah.
So that's a piece of it as well. And then, I guess, having discussion on topics that teenagers think about, care about, or, that you're trying to help them avoid in their future. Making decisions about friendships that could have catastrophic events. That's a big message that comes across in this novel. I don't know if any other administrators want to add anything that helped with this decision, but other reasons why this book was chosen. I know the ELA teachers did have a couple of options. They chose this one in particular because it was so highly recommended.
The way for narrative structure, this is part of the piece that they're talking about as well. Just that, not justice, truthful things, overcoming that obstacle that's the study scene curriculum. There's a line by study scene curriculum, just one of the
I think just even at the end, all the questions that you can use as part of the book. I read through those too, and I'm kind of like, oh, that kind of made me think more about the story too, and maybe made me think about some things a little different, that I maybe didn't think of at the time. So I thought those questions were very interesting too.
Children at that age in their brain development are very interested in what's just, what's right. This book does address, it just really hits on that as you're going through the court case and in front of the judge and thinking about what's right. Is it just? Is it, how is it being handled? Those questions come up, and then it allows kids to explore and have discussions about those kinds of topics.
How long has the book been used in?
Yeah, so I asked Pete about that today.
Yeah,
go ahead.
we purchased Study Sync. I want to say it was coming out of COVID. We didn't come back to the temporary, so it's about 4 years. So we've used the book.
Both of my children read it. So.
Yeah, I didn't.
I think that's 5 years.
Well, Riley, though, I don't know, because Riley read it, but I couldn't remember if he read it during for 8th grade class or if he had read it on his own. But he had read it. He did Study Sync, and that would have been, they had just purchased it, but that was that weird COVID year.
That was a COVID year that we were trying. It was just a trial. So I think we had some of the novels.
Well, no, I don't know that he had done a novel. So, but he has. But so, and from that, both of my children had read it, and I've asked them about that, and they both found it engaging, looking at a perspective that they are not used to seeing, is very helping them, very eye-opening, but then also knowing that even though this is a perspective of a kid that they are not used to seeing, some of the things that he goes through are still things that they go through, questions about, what you do for a friend or what you could say, and how just one small snap decision that you're not even thinking of can just make a huge impact and change on your life. Those are things that, and have huge consequences. That those are things that they can talk about as well.
I have to say, in reading the book myself, I read it out loud to my husband on a car ride. So it was. I really wanted to get his perspective on it too, being a little more conservative about, what we allowed our children to read and what I hope our grandchildren read. And I felt that the book was extremely engaging, that I felt there was so many life lessons that could be learned throughout the book. Were there a couple things in there that I thought were a little gray? Did it need to be in there? And yet, when you think about the whole process of why they were in there, and the fears of that child, all of it made sense. All of it was historic. All of it was accurate as far as what happens in that particular situation. So I felt it was relevant. What I did want to say, though, is that I know that the parent who brought it to our attention had a version of the book, had had an edition of the book that is not currently in our school. That edition was newer, that he maybe ordered or got out of the library. And so some of the excerpts that were originally made public on Facebook that were talked about of concern are not physically in the book that we all read, and that is in the classroom. And I know I talked with Michelle about that, and I said, there were a couple excerpts in the back of that book, in those editions, that maybe they don't belong in our reading. So if we're getting some new editions, I wouldn't mind an Exacto cutting out a couple pages. But anyway, I just thought I would bring that to the attention of the group, that some of those things weren't.
Yeah, depending on which book you have, and I have one of the brand new ones.
Brand new ones, yeah.
Brand new ones have an excerpt from the graphic novel version of this book. They have excerpts in the back. So you know how you buy a book and it'll say,
Right.
oh, also by this author?
Right.
And they'll have like the first chapter of another book. That's what it is. It's an
Right.
excerpt of another
Right.
book. The ones that the kids have are older. They don't have those excerpts in them. But if we should ever buy the new ones,
Right.
we might want to take that out because there are some a little more sexual.
Yeah, he's definitely a shock kind of sensationalistic writer, and he likes a little bit of that shock factor, and I think this book was kind of written before he got a little more evolved in his writing. And so, yeah, I think that those pages don't belong, in the editions that we carry within the school. But as far as the book itself, I'm good with it.
Mm-hmm. I guess I just have to say too, after I got done reading it, I emailed Michelle and just said, I'm not really sure what was wrong with this book. And for looking for a response. And so that was my opinion of it. I thought it was really a well-written book, and I can see why it's won so many accolades that it has. It was just really different, which was really kind of neat. Written in a much different way than any other book I've written, or read, excuse me.
I'd have to agree with Deb's assessment on it. I guess I would liken it to stuff that I read when I was in school, To Kill a Mockingbird, or The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn. There's some graphic stuff in there that survived. And yeah, if it's a valuable resource, the teachers are teaching it well.
The other book I think came immediately. I didn't mean to cut you off. The other book I think immediately came out after it was The Outsiders. I think that's what they were working on then. So I did ask for a copy because I needed to refresh my memory. I read that a moon's age ago and probably watched the movie just as well. But some of the concerns that were in the book Monster, especially when it was talking about suicide, I thought, in the book Outsiders, it talked very much about that. In fact, about death by cop suicide. And so I think it's all in how it's presented. It's all in how it's very washed over in The Outsiders. It was a little more graphic. I can't even say that part was graphic. It was mainly like what happens when you go to prison and why do they keep you from doing certain things. But I think both books are relevant. Both books are fine for that age group.
I have a question. Going forward, is there a list that the parents, or like another version of some other book that going forward, that if a parent feels is uncomfortable for them and their child, that they have another option to go to?
Again, we, in the past, had always, in our high school, always sends out a list of our what novels the classes are reading. We just had a newer teacher, didn't know some of our practices, so I can understand if the parent wished they had known ahead of time. But we are very careful about that, and if a parent doesn't feel comfortable with the book, we always give an option. Always.
Maybe staff can answer this, or Michelle. How does that actually work when you're in an ELA class, I mean, a language arts class, and you're learning about a particular book, the book stays within the classroom, you're reading certain pages, you're discussing those pages. How does that work when a child chooses, or a parent chooses for that child, not for them to participate in that book, to pick a different one? How does that whole classroom interaction then take place? Because that seems very confusing and double the amount of work for a teacher.
I've done it. I've done it. You were really good as a teacher in allowing kids to have choice.
How does that work, Kara? How would it work in your classroom?
In my classroom, if, for example, if we are talking about figurative language, the student will be also looking at figurative language in their own book. So whatever the other choice is, I'm going to make sure it has the same standards that this book does. That, I'll tell you that those students often feel like, you know, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to find a way to read this book on their own too. I mean, but that's why that many times we opt for things like literature circles and things like that, so that there's a variety. We're doing some smaller class sets. It is more work for a teacher. But teachers are amazing people, and like they will do it. So.
Let's see if there's any more questions. Unless there's no other questions, we can entertain a motion to either approve or deny the request for removal of the novel Monster from the 8th grade ELA curriculum.
I'd like to make a motion to keep the book, Monster. Am I reading this correctly?
Deny the request.
Deny the request.
To deny the request. Thank you. Where am I at? I am lost. Thank you.
Help brain.
So I'd like to make the motion to deny the request for removal of the novel Monster from the 8th grade ELA curriculum.
So motion to deny, second by Cindy. Do I do roll call or voice vote? Voice roll call. Sarah?
George.
Agreed.
Coop.
No.
Leakey.
Yes.
Levitt.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Punk.
Yes.
Ressler.
Yes.
Schaefer.
Yes.
Sarah. No.
Stays. Okay. On to committee reports. We had our teacher compensation committee. We had our teacher.
She equated it to claptrap in like porn.
That's not what was in the book. That ain't
And I
me.
got better things to do.
Mark,
Thank you.
you ready? We have committee reports. Teacher compensation committee met on Thursday, February 26th, and we had the committee of the whole that met on Thursday, March 5th. Update on teacher compensation committee?
Sure, we did come up with, there's one change that we're looking at on the teacher compensation plan, and that was to allow another step for certified staff, but they're not teachers, that don't have the opportunity or the same opportunities to go to the leader category. So we're allowing another step within the professional category so that they have an advancement as well. And then it was also decided kind of more informally that the compensation committee will now meet as needed. We'll still have it set up that we have people that are in it, that they will meet as needed. Otherwise, if it's just one or two things like this, the approval process will just go through the handbook committee because it's in the handbook anyway.
All right. Item 14, future meetings. So just to run down, April 7th, we have our certified negotiation meeting at 6 p.m. The 9th handbook committee at 6 p.m. And we'll get emails out to those. April 9th, committee of the whole at 6:30, and then the 13th, our regular board meeting at 6:30 p.m. So unless there's any questions about the future meetings, I'd take a motion to adjourn.
Please.
Cindy?
Come on.
Second for
Okay,
me.
all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right.
Negotiations, brother, you and Rodman from, or is it a new member? Wednesday lunch.
Oh, you got one.
I think it's the day after.